Hi, thank you for joining us on this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona. And hopefully today with our picks and your picks, it's going to be another profitable day for you. Saturday, March 16th, college and NBA basketball slate. There's a ton of games, NBA, and obviously a bunch of conference tournament games going on in college. So let's get right to this, shall we? So 10 o'clock here in Phoenix, 1 o'clock Eastern time, St. Joe's, VCU. VCU we really liked in this tournament in the AAC all along. They're roughly 1.5 point favorite today. We did get this at 2.5. I like the number at 2.5 even. I like this number actually all the way up to 4.5. I think St. Joe's has kind of run ends today. Third game coming up for them. Just a tough matchup. VCU plays extremely good defense, and they seem to win the tight games overall as well. So we did take VCU minus 1.5 first half, minus 2.5 for the game. VCU minus 1.5 first half, and minus 2.5 for the game. Next game up, Purdue, Wisconsin, 10 o'clock here in Phoenix again, 1 o'clock Eastern. Wisconsin's been on an absolute heater shooting the ball. Expect a little bit of regression out of them today. Purdue's had some good first halves, didn't cover in the last game for the game, but did take care of the first half. I just think that regression for Wisconsin's going to set in. We even got the worst of the number here at 6, but we do like Purdue quite a bit today. So Purdue minus 2.5 first half, minus 6 for the game. One more time, Purdue minus 2.5 first half and minus 6 for the game. Next game up is another 10 o'clock Phoenix game. 1 o'clock Eastern, Mississippi State, Auburn. I think Auburn's going to win the whole SEC tournament here. Mississippi State has played well. Their defense has been outstanding. They got a big win yesterday. Just when you start tallying up these games and nights, it starts to really kind of wear on you a little bit. We just think Auburn's the fresher team here. Definitely has the more firepower offensively and can score, I believe, against Mississippi State here. So we did take Auburn minus 4.5 first half, minus 7.5 for the game. One more time, Auburn minus 4.5 first half and minus 7.5 for the game. Then we move into the noon slate, or noon Phoenix time, so 3 o'clock Eastern, UAB, South Florida. Let's be honest, South Florida won the regular season in the AAC, beating out Dayton, beating out VCU, all these other teams, and they're only a 2.5 point favorite here. I think the line's short. I'll be really honest. I thought this line should be around 4.5 to 5. South Florida, if you haven't paid attention to them all season long, they have a chance to make a little bit of noise in the tournament, I think. So we will take South Florida today. Like I said, I don't understand. I mean, we're on the worst part of the number again as well. We got it at 3, but they're the best team in this conference, and there was a reason why. So South Florida minus 1.5 first half, minus 3 for the game. South Florida minus 1.5 first half, and minus 3 for the game. Then we get to Nebraska, Illinois. I don't know if y'all watched Nebraska yesterday, but they absolutely just crushed some folks yesterday. Illinois comes off a sloppy win. They're a 4.5 point favorite today. To be really honest, I thought the line was going to be over 5 here, but we still would have liked Nebraska. We still like Nebraska at the number. I just think Hoiberg coach team in the tournament, this is kind of where he's going to shine and have his guys ready to play, ready to execute all the good stuff that you need in tournament time to get some wins. So especially late game type stuff. But we like Nebraska today. We'll probably sprinkle a little bit on the money line as well. We haven't done so as of yet, but the game is a 12:30 Phoenix game here, so 3:30 Eastern. We'll probably sprinkle a little bit of money line as well. Waiting to see if that line moves to get a little bit more love on that one. But we did take Nebraska plus 2.5 first half, plus 4.5 for the game. One more time, Nebraska plus 2.5 first half, and then plus 4.5 for the game. Next game up for us, St. Bonaventure, Duquesne. Duquesne's been on fire. Their defense has been spectacular. Now, this conference tournament, they've actually been hot offensively. which has led to these big-time wins here. But only a 2.5-point favorite over St. Bonaventure. Like Duquesne today, no reason to not play him and play him pretty heavily here. So Duquesne minus a half first half, and we got it at 1.5 for the game. So actually a line move in our favor. Duquesne minus a half first half, and then minus 1.5 for the game. Next game up for us is going to be Texas A&M and Florida. Texas A&M has shot the lights out of the ball this conference tournament so far. And Florida right now is probably the best team in the SEC, and they're only laying 2.5 here. So a little confused on the line. I understand A&M's been hot, but I believe this is we're going to be 5 games, 5 days type of scenario here. I like Florida a lot in this matchup. Their guards, they're healthy finally for the last couple weeks, finally healthy for this for the year. So. We like Florida here, minus 1.5 first half, minus 2.5 for the game. Florida minus 1.5 first half, and then minus 2.5 for the game. Then we get to the 3 o'clock Phoenix slot, so 6 o'clock Eastern, New Mexico, San Diego State. Now, New Mexico, the last couple games has played like they did earlier in the season when they were a top 20 team. San Diego State gets bum rushed by Utah State early in the game yesterday, and then has a 50-point second half in order to get the win. San Diego State's the best team in this, one of the best teams in this conference. New Mexico struggled so much down the stretch. I understand they got hot in a couple tournament games here, but we'll roll with San Diego State. We just think the New Mexico shooting might lack off just a little bit here. So San Diego State minus 1.5 first half, minus 2.5 for the game. One more time, San Diego State minus 1.5 first half, minus 2.5 for the game. Same time frame, 3 o'clock out here in Phoenix, 6 o'clock Eastern. Iowa State, Houston for the Big 12 championship. Total at 122.5, folks. I don't know if we're going to see a lower total than that. 2 of the best defensive teams in the country. The biggest difference here is that Houston is the best offensive rebounding team in the country. Iowa State can struggle to score. Houston does too, but they get so many offensive rebounds that you don't notice it quite as much when you're looking at points per possession on that one. We like Houston today. I know the books are rooting for Iowa State like crazy on this one, but the public play is for us on this one. We did get this at 5 when it opened, but we'll take Houston minus 2.5 first half and minus 5 for the game. Houston minus 2.5 first half, and then minus 5 for the game for the Big 12 championship. On that one. Next game up, we're really looking at Marquette and Connecticut here. 9.5 point Connecticut favorite, 142.5. We're trying to figure out a way to play this particular game. We have not made a play on it as of yet. Do make sure you check out the Google Sheets at the end of our show. In the comment section, you'll see a link that says docs.google.spreadsheet, a bunch of other stuff behind it. That'll link you into all of our bets, especially if there's early games maybe we've already made a bet on but haven't got our episode out in time, like the couple of the early games here today. So make sure you do check out those Google Sheets and refer back to those. Or if you don't have time to check out the show, it gives you it gives you ample time, or it gives you a resource to look those up at as well. So nothing on that one as of yet. Next game we are on, though, is NC State, North Carolina. North Carolina State has been blistering from the field. Blistering from the field. Now, the line has moved 2 points. At 10.5 where it currently sits, I wouldn't play it. I'll be really honest with you on that one. The 8.5 number, we liked it. 10.5, though, we get to that key number of 10, and we went through it there. You're really going to have to hope for North Carolina to blow the doors off. Now, it's very possible that they could. We're just getting into that territory where it's a little bit tight on that one. We did take North Carolina minus 4.5 first half and minus 8.5 for the game. North Carolina minus 4.5 first half and minus 8.5 for the game. Next game up, we're looking at UTEP Western Kentucky as well on that one. Haven't made a play on it as of yet, but another championship game. Pac-12 championship game, though. Oregon, Colorado. If you haven't watched Oregon or Colorado this season, I understand why. They're in the Pac-12, especially if you live out east. Your 10 o'clock games and stuff like that. Those are hard to stay up that late. Colorado, though, has been on fire. I believe it's like 9 wins in a row. They have a couple of dudes that are pros on this team, especially one that can go in a ladder like Cody Williams. Oregon needs to win this game probably to make the tournament. Colorado should be in with a couple of wins that they've had so far, especially beating Washington State in the last one. It's shameful though. You're looking at the 3 seed of Colorado, and they're a bubble team, right? So you got Washington State and Arizona that are in, but after that, it's what's your flavor? It's been a little disappointing season for Colorado, I think. I think they tended, thoughts were they were going to have a lot better record. They were a ranked team for part of the season, stuff like that, but we do like Colorado only laying the 2.5 today. It's just when you got pros, it makes life so much easier in order to play basketball on the college side anyway, so especially when you have 2 of them. So Colorado minus 1.5 first half, minus 2 for the game. Colorado minus 1.5 first half, and then minus 2 for the game in that one. And then one other game we're looking at is 8:30 out here in Phoenix, 11:30 Eastern. UT Arlington, Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon currently a 6.5-point favorite. They're going for the WAC title. We expect Grand Canyon to get a win today. That line is 6.5. We've been kind of waiting to see if anything would come in, but normally on these the mid-tier games, there's not a lot of movement, and if there is, it ends up being a big point swing, so you need to get in front of it on there. But we're going to look at that one as well, so make sure you do check out the Google Sheets for that as well. So next game up, we'll get into the NBA slate. Like I said, we got 6? I think we got 10 games roughly going, and we have a early game for East Coast at 5 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock game out here in Phoenix. We'll start with that one. Cavs heading to the Rockets. Currently, that line sits at 5. It did open at 6, so the line moving towards the Rockets. We like the Rockets here today. A couple different reasons why. Their home record against the number has been very good. Cavs just come off where they just shot the lights out against the Pelicans. Hard to get 2 of those games in a row. And the Rockets, even though Sengun is out. Cam Whitmore, who's been a very impressive rookie off the bench for them, has been out the last few games. Jalen Green has really stepped things up for the Rockets. And when Sengun's not in the game, they run at a different pace. I think they can kind of wear you out a little bit with the pace that they can bring. And Jalen Green might be the fastest guy in the NBA. We do like the Rockets today. Quite a few player props in this one as well. So we did take the Rockets plus 1.5 first quarter. Plus 2.5 first half, plus 6 for the game. We mentioned Jalen Green. We're going over 20.5 points, 25 plus points, 3 plus 3s, 4 plus 3s, and then over 30.5 par. Jarrett Allen for the Cavs, over 17.5 points. He shouldn't have a lot standing in his way, especially with that Sengun injury on that one. Jarrett Allen also... Actually, that's the only Jarrett Allen action we have in that game. I apologize about that. Donovan Mitchell, 25 plus points, 3 plus 3s, 4 plus 3s, over 34.5 par. Then we also like Amen Thompson for the Rockets, one of the Thompson twins. Both of them can rebound, and both are athletic as hell, but we like Amen Thompson for 8 plus rebounds and 10 plus rebounds in this matchup. Ever since Sengun's been down, he's been rebounding like crazy, and he is plus money both on the 8 and 10 plus rebounds. So one more time in this Rockets-Cavs matchup. Rockets plus 1.5 first quarter, plus 2.5 first half, plus 6 for the game. Jalen Green over 20.5 points, 25 plus points, 3 plus 3s, 4 plus 3s, over 30.5 par. My apologies there. Donovan Mitchell, 25 plus points, 3 plus 3s, 4 plus 3s, over 34.5 par. And then also Mitchell over 2.5 turnovers. As that Rockets team will turn you, especially at home, they will turn you over like mad crazy. Jarrett Allen over 17.5 points. The reason why we weren't on his rebounds is it bumped up to 12.5. Sometimes Jarrett struggles to get that 10 mark, let alone get to 12.5. We thought about playing the under on 12.5, but kind of threading the needle a little bit there. Then we've also got Donovan Mitchell, 25 plus we went through those. Amen Thompson, 8 plus rebounds, and Amen Thompson, 10 plus rebounds. Next game up on the board, 4:10 out here in Phoenix, so 7:10 Eastern time. Nets, Pacers. This line's getting a little crazy as well. Nets around a 9-point dog going to the road, and they should be. They've been absolutely just I can't understand that team whatsoever. The Pacers, though, have been extremely confusing as well. Halliburton's just not the same. It's a shame. I mean, Halliburton, in my opinion, he was so hot there for a while before that hamstring injury. It was incredible to watch. He was getting 12 to 15 assists a night. He was throwing up 25 points. I mean, it was fun. Like I said, it was a lot of fun to watch when he's rolling in stride there. The Nets just inconsistent as hell. There's no way around that. The one thing about the Pacers, though, they are one of the worst rebounding teams in the league. So expect a lot of Nets rebounds probably in that game. Pascal Siakam's been fine. I wouldn't call it an outstanding play as of yet. Benedict Mathurin being out for the season with the knee injury has definitely hurt them. I think hurt their rotation. They've got Nembhard in the starting lineup, which he doesn't need to be anywhere near it. But we're not going to take a side or a total on this one. We're just on player props here. So we'll get you into those here. So Miles Turner over 16.5 points. Turner over 1.5 threes. And over 25.5 par. Pascal Siakam, 20-plus points. 2+ threes. And that was huge plus money for 2+ threes on Pascal at like plus 245 on DraftKings. And then Pascal Siakam over 32.5 par. Nick Claxton, we like a bunch today as well. So we'll go Claxton, let's see, over 23.5 par, over 11.5 points, 10+ rebounds, 12+ rebounds. We'll also play 2+ blocks and 3+ blocks for Claxton. So one more time in this Nets and Pacers matchup. Claxton will do first here, over 11.5 points. 10+ rebounds, 12+ rebounds, 2+ blocks, 3+ blocks. Miles Turner over 16.5 points, 2+ threes, and over 25.5 par. Pascal Siakam, 20+ points, 2+ threes, over 32.5 par in that one there. Next game up. If that game wasn't exciting enough for you, let's try this one out. Hornets against the 76ers. Oof. 76ers at home laying 10.5. I can't get anywhere behind that number. The 76ers scare me to death. This is a game I think they choke it off and they lose outright. One of those type of deals there. I mean, Maxi's back, but with Embiid still out, and this team just seems discombobulated all over the place. Maxey doesn't want to be aggressive enough to kind of take over this thing and make the rest of the guys in the wing. So you got guys like Buddy Hield and Kelly Oubre who want to dominate the offense around themselves, even though the best offensive player is Maxey. So we'll stay away from the side and the total here. We do like quite a few player props today. We're going to get going with Miles Bridges over 20.5 points. Miles Bridges 25+ points. Miles Bridges 3+ threes. Nick Richards we also like a lot today for the Hornets. So we'll take Nick Richards for 10+ points, 15+ points, over 8.5 rebounds, and 10+ rebounds. So one more time in this Hornets and 76ers matchup, Miles Bridges over 20.5 points, 25+ points, over 2.5 threes on that one. Nick Richards 10+ points, 15+ points, over 8.5 rebounds, and 10+ rebounds in that one. Next game up, Pelicans. Trailblazers heading to New Orleans. New Orleans, Zion had another monster game last night. We've been on him now for like a month plus. It's been an ATM machine for us in that one. They beat the Clippers. Did get beat up by the Clippers in the first half. CJ McCollum, folks, is on an all-time cooler streak. 1 for 7 again from 3 last night again. His shots are so rushed. That's ugly. So Herbert, I will say this, Trey Murphy, there are no 3-point props yet out. I promise you this, when they're available, we're going to bet him. He has been just smoking on fire from 3. Zion's been playing out of his mind. And it's a good thing because Ingram and McCollum have been struggling. And Herbert Jones has not been hitting his 3-pointers and contributing scoring-wise. But the Pelicans continue to win. They're probably looking at a 5 seed. I don't think it's completely locked in yet, but it's getting close. But they're going to be in the playoffs. Zion's going to present a lot of problems for everybody as he continually goes to the hole and makes the refs make a call. Or he's an excellent passer, and he's been getting 6 to 8 rebounds a game steadily all season long as well. So if you haven't been paying attention to Zion this year because of all the injuries in the past, I completely understand. But he is basically what they paid for this year. So we do like the Pelicans here today, even though it is a 13-point number, even off the back-to-back. We even got it at 13.5 and felt comfortable there. Just think the Trailblazers on the road, they typically just lay over. So we will take the Pelicans -4 first quarter, -8.5 first half, -13.5 for the game. Zion will go back to the well again, over 23.5 points, 25-plus points, 6-plus rebounds, 8-plus rebounds, over 35.5 par, and 6-plus assists. CJ McCollum, under 2.5 threes, and it's plus money on that on DraftKings. It was like plus 120 when we grabbed it earlier. He's just been ice cold from three-point land. I don't think there was, out of the 7 threes he took, basically 2 had a chance to go in, and he made one of them. The other 5 were so far off target or rushed, they did not look comfortable at all. So one more time in this Pelicans and Blazers matchup. Pelicans -4 first quarter, -8.5 first half, -13.5 for the game. Zion over 23.5 points, 25-plus points, 6-plus rebounds, 8-plus rebounds, over 35.5 par, and 6-plus assists. Anthony Simons for the Blazers over 3.5 turnovers. The Pelicans will turn you over quite a bit, especially at home. They are just extremely long at most positions and getting to the passing lanes really well. CJ McCollum under 2.5 threes, like we've mentioned a couple times. He's been ice cold from 3 on that one as well. So next game up, Thunder, Grizzlies, OKC heading to Memphis. So OKC 10.5-point favorite now heading to Memphis. Memphis has been, how do I put this? It seems like they cause a few more problems covering when they're on the road just because the numbers are gigantic versus at home. The Thunder have a little bit of a back and forth funk here as of late. Chet Holmgren's kind of disappeared a little bit from the offense. I don't know why necessarily. He hasn't been hitting the 3 ball as well. Maybe a little tentative from 3. That kind of hurts his point totals. Hasn't been blocking as many shots either. So I think maybe a lot of guys trying to figuring that part out where he's not getting his 3 blocks a game like he was. So Grizzlies, what's there to say about the Grizzlies? Do they have anybody left? Not really. Jaren Jackson, but everybody else is either hurt or they're on 2-way contracts or, just some pretty lowly stuff for the Grizzlies. Unfortunately, they didn't get the memo and do it last year when there was Wembanyama and Scoot Henderson and Brandon Miller, those guys, at the top of the draft. This year's draft, a lot of international players going to be at the top of this draft, and maybe Isaiah Collier sneaks in the top 5 as well, but a lot of international flavor coming this way in the NBA draft. But we do like the Thunder here today. They beat up on Memphis. I expect them to do it one more time here, so we did get this at 9.5. This line continues to move. So if you like the Thunder today, I'd get in early rather than late. So Thunder -3.5 first quarter, -6.5 first half, -9.5 for the game. SGA for 30-plus points. Chet Holmgren, 15-plus points, 20-plus points, 2-plus threes, over 25.5 par, 2-plus blocks, 3-plus blocks. I think they really try to get Holmgren involved a bunch today. Get him back kind of rolling. Jalen Williams had a good game last game as well. SGA always consistent, was somewhere between like 24 and 40 points. And most of the games are 30 plus for SGA. That's why he's top 2 guy for MVP right at the moment. But we do like the Thunder, and like I said, I think they get Chet, try to get Chet right today offensively. So Thunder -3.5 first quarter, -6.5 first half, -9.5 for the game. SGA, 30-plus points. Holmgren, 15-plus points, 20-plus points, 2-plus threes, over 25.5 par, 2-plus blocks, and 3-plus blocks. Next game up on the board, Wizards, Bulls. Bulls favored by 10 at home, 224 total in this one. No, excuse me there. I can't lay the Bulls laying 10 at any point in my life with this team this season, especially now Kobe White looks like he could be out for this game again. Dosimo did not live up to billing in the last game. We took a flyer on him just because we knew Kobe White was going to be out. Maybe he could get increased point production, threes, stuff like that. He was even worse than it was just not a good game for him in the last one. The one consistent you can say with the Bulls is definitely going to be DeRozan. And we expect DeRozan to have a big game, so we're not on the side of the total, just player props in this one for us. DeRozan over 26.5 points, 30-plus points, over 38.5 par. And then we'll also take Corey Kispert 3+ threes. It's only minus 140. Normally, you don't get him for that number. It's closer to, for 3 threes out of Kispert, it's normally closer to minus 200. So one more time, this Bulls-Wizards game, DeRozan over 26.5 points, 30-plus points, over 38.5 par, and Kispert 3+ threes. One of the biggest games on the board today, and the ABC game, Warriors going to the Lakers. This line's already down to like 2.5 on this one here. Golden State heading in 9 and 10 seeds basically for the play-in. So which team's going to get a home court advantage for the play-in game? Because these guys seem stuck at 9 and 10. I don't think there's a way they make it to the 7-8 game. So they're going to be playing a 9-10 game, and the loser goes home and doesn't make the playoffs. So great thing for the NBA here, probably having them in a play-in game. I'm sure they'd rather have them both in maybe a first round of playoffs and get 7 games out of them, but they're going to get some major eyes for a play-in tournament if it's Steph Curry, LeBron James, AD, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and so on and so forth. If you haven't been paying attention what the hell's going on, though, the Warriors, you'll notice, Steph's been hurt. He's still a game-time decision today. He isn't probable to play, but there are player props out him, which the books think, it's a big game. And this is a big game for the seeding as well. So this is a game he'll try to make it back for, I'm sure, on this one. We do like the Warriors in this particular matchup. But Jonathan Kuminga has been fantastic for like the last 3 months. Now, he's had a couple blips on the screen here and there. But Kuminga's he can take the ball to the hole. This dude is so physical. If he could just develop that three-point shot a little bit more, where they have to respect that three, he's a guy that can score 25 to 30 a night if that's the case. And Podziemski's been solid for them. Draymond, another game-time decision for him as well. So we do have some Draymond props. Like I said, if Draymond and Steph don't play, the number's probably going to go up, but I think we're still live at that 2 number. Getting the points there, even though if they're both not playing, probably go to hell, probably 6 on that one there. But that being said, I still think you got a great shot to win the game outright on this one here. So we're going to roll with the Warriors, plus a half first quarter, plus a half first half, plus 2 for the game. I'm shocked at this Kuminga point total. Over 18.5. Like the Lakers present some big defense or something where he's only going to be over 18.5 points. I don't really necessarily see that. So we'll say thank you. And it was even money as well on DraftKings. You don't even have to pay any juice for 19-plus points. So Steph Curry, 25-plus points. Steph Curry, 5+ threes, 6+ threes. And then we've also got, let's see what else we've got in here. Kuminga will go back to the over 26.5 par as well. LeBron, one of our favorite plays today too, is over 7.5 rebounds there. Then we've got Draymond Green, 7+ rebounds, 8+ rebounds, both at plus money. Draymond Green, 6+ assists at plus money. Draymond over 11.5 rebounds plus assists. Anthony Davis for 3+ blocks. So one more time in this Warriors-Lakers matchup. Warriors plus a half first quarter, plus a half first half, plus 2 for the game. Kuminga over 18.5 points. Kuminga over 26.5 par. Steph Curry, 25-plus points. Steph Curry, 5+ threes, 6+ threes. LeBron, 8+ rebounds. Draymond, 7+ rebounds, 8+ rebounds, 6+ assists. And over 11.5 rebounds plus assists, and Anthony Davis for 3+ blocks. Next game up on the board, T-Wolves going to Utah. Utah does get a win when they were a dog at home the other night. They're coming back now. They're an 8-point dog going against Minnesota. Minnesota's a little bit different animal here. Number one, you got Rudy Gobert going against his old team here, so always a little bit of I wouldn't say revenge, but it feels a little bit better when you stick it to them, so to speak. T-Wolves, obviously the best defense in the NBA, and Utah might be one of the worst. They do play well at home, though, so that 8-point line's a little tight for me. Like if that thing was, let's say, 5.5, 6, or going the other way at 10, then we take a look at those. We're going to stay away from the side and total, stay on player props in this particular matchup for us. So we do like Gobert. We expect him to have a big game tonight. Over 15.5 points. Over 14.5 rebounds. Also 16-plus rebounds. Over 30.5 points plus rebounds as well. Keontae George. We mentioned this in the last show. I like him and Sexton both quite a bit. But when you're looking at players, props, and point props and threes, do you want a guy that's going to be more selective, or do you want a guy that's going to jack up more shots? Keontae George is the guy that's going to jack up more shots. So we take him on the points there, over 18.5 points, 3+ threes, and also over 2.5 turnovers for Keontae George. So one more time in this T-Wolves and Jazz matchup, Rudy Gobert, 16-plus points. Gobert, 15-plus rebounds, 16-plus rebounds. Gobert, 31 points plus rebounds. Keontae George, over 18.5 points, over 2.5 threes, and over 2.5 turnovers. Then the last game of the night, Knicks going to Sacramento against the Kings. Knicks, a 3.5-point dog on the road. Sacramento with a couple big wins here as of late. 217.5 total in this game as well. And that's just because the Knicks are coming to town and haven't figured out how to score over 108 in weeks on that one there. OG Anunoby, again, questionable tonight. I don't know what's going on in the water, or if it's just the Tisdale coaching that leads these guys to get injured every 5 minutes. But Jalen Brunson's back healthy, comes off a 40-plus point game. We expect Brunson to have another big night tonight. The Kings don't play a ton of defense. They got a little bit here and there, but overall don't play a ton of defense. Sabonis is not a rim protector as well, not a shot blocker in the middle, which they don't have, which really hurts their defense. When you got a rim protector, you can take a lot of chances out there and know that you have one line of defense still available, but they just do not have that with Sacramento. So we expect the Knicks to score well tonight. I don't know if they're going to bust over their 108-point deal, but we're not taking a team total here or a total. But we do like the Knicks in the game, plus a half first quarter, plus 1.5 first half, plus 3.5 for the game. Jalen Brunson over 27.5 points. Brunson 30-plus points, 35-plus points. Brunson 3+ threes and 4+ threes. We've talked about this one here coming. Josh Hart, 10-plus rebounds, still at minus 130 on FanDuel. I appreciate the fact they're continue to let us cash these. And I know Sabonis is in there, and Sabonis grabs 15 rebounds a game, it seems like. But Josh Hart is the best rebounding guard in the league, and only had 10 rebounds for him with as many minutes as he's playing. We'll take that one and run to the bank. We're also going to play Josh Hart 12-plus rebounds. We'll also take De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis both over 2.5 turnovers. As the Knicks muck it up better than maybe the only team that mucks it up maybe even better is the Grizzlies. So one more time in this Knicks and Kings matchup in Sacramento, Knicks plus a half first quarter, plus 1.5 first half, plus 3.5 for the game. Brunson over 27.5 points, 30-plus points, 35-plus points, 3+ threes and 4+ threes. Josh Hart, 10-plus rebounds, 12-plus rebounds. De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis, both over 2.5 turnovers. So I mentioned this probably a couple times throughout the show here, a little bit earlier. At the end of every episode that we do, in the comments section, there will be a link to our Google Sheets, which is a ledger of all of our bets. It'll read docs.google.spreadsheet. It's a ledger of all our bets that we just went through, plus anything that we might add before game times as well. We don't add any live betting to this. Even though we do some live betting. If you're interested in the live betting, just send us a comment on the show. I'll be more than happy to pass along anything that we're going to live bet as well. So make sure you do that. Check those out, though. We are volume better. There are so many bets that it's impossible to keep up with on the show, so make sure you check that out when you get some time. And as always, if you can subscribe and get notifications to our YouTube channel, so when you hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on for YouTube, you'll get a notification to your phone or device to let you know Sports Bets for Free has dropped a new episode of bets. Give you plenty of time to match them up with your bets and give you that ton of confidence you need heading to the betting app or betting window. I do appreciate everybody's support as always and look forward to seeing you on the next episode.